Today is World Jollof Day. And no, I'm not here to argue about who has the best jollof or whatever, okay? I'm only here to cook my three favorite jollof rice recipes. Do me a favor here at the end of this video. Let me know in the comment section which of these three recipes you love the most. Let's get cooking. So, of course, I'll start by prepping my ingredients for the jollof stew base, okay? You can roast this on your stove top, but I'm going to use my oven to roast my tomatoes, onions, beetroot, pepper, garlic. I already had ginger, so I didn't add that, okay? So once it's charred a bit, I'm going to go ahead and allow this to cool a bit, blend and set it aside till I'm ready to use it, okay? So in my saucepan here, I have some oil heating up. I'm going to start by sauteing or seasoning my spices. So I'm going in with my natural spices and some curry powder. I'm going to give this a mix and make sure to heat it up for about 3 minutes maybe, and then add my chopped onions. So use whatever onions you like, okay, and whatever quantity you like. But as I always say, I have kids at home, so sometimes I don't like to overdo with the onions, okay. So once it is fried a bit, I'm going in with some blended ginger, onions, and garlic. Remember, I've already roasted some of it, so I didn't add too much here, okay? Just for a bit of the buildup of flavor. And then I'll cover this and allow the mix to change color slightly, as you can see. So I'll go in to give it a stir. Now the water content has dried up a bit. So I'm going to go in with my tomato mix. So this is my homemade tomato mix. In case you missed the recipe, I'll leave the link in the description box. I also have other tomato mixes or pastes recipes on the channel. I'll leave those recipes in the description box as well. So whether tomatoes are in or out of season, you have whatever mix to make your jollof, okay? So I'll leave this to cook for about 5 minutes, come back to it and give it a good mix, and then give it another cover, and then we'll get back to it because we want the tomato paste to fry well, basically. I know this is homemade, but you want it to really incorporate into the stew base. So as you can see, it's almost dry, and this is what we are going for, okay? Once this is ready, I'm going to go in and add my blended, charred, oven baked or whatever vegetables I showed in the beginning. And then I'll give this a very good mix as well. Ideally, once these ingredients go in, you mix up and allow this to simmer slowly on low heat for about 30 minutes. Your jollof stew base is ready. You don't need to season it with anything until you're ready to make whatever jollof you like, okay? So like I mentioned in the beginning, we are making three different jollof rice recipes. So I'm going to not bother a stew base, but I'll salt it slightly. That means I'm going to add just a bit of salt, and then we will move to the very first recipe, which is our goat meat jollof rice. Of course, we are going to be needing some goat meat. I'm seasoning with my natural spices and then a blend of ginger, garlic, onions, the famous trinity, and then add some shrimp seasoning and salt, and then give it a good mix. Add enough water and allow this to cook until tender. So we are going to be needing the stock from the goat meat for our jollof, so do not discard it and make sure there's some left, okay? So at this point, when I checked up on the meat, it was slightly tougher for me. So I added just a bit of water and then gave it about 7 to 10 minutes to allow it to soften up a bit. And then I went in back there to check and it was doing great. So because I don't like washing, like washing dishes, I mean, I'm going to take out the goat meat from the stock and then use the same saucepan to fry my goat meat. You can air fry if you want, okay? Of course, you can decide not to fry it at all, but there's something with fried goat meat in jollof rice you're going to love, okay? So in the same saucepan, I'm going to heat up some oil and fry my goat meat till it's golden brown and crispy on the outside. Please, if you are one that gets tempted by fried meat, please be chewing gum at this point because or else you'll not be able to control yourself, okay? So I'll take out my goat meat and then add a bit of my jollof stew base that I've already prepared. At this point, it's just the salt that's in the stew base, okay? I'll add my washed rice, mix everything together until it's well combined, and then I'll allow it to simmer on low heat for about 5 minutes for the rice to toast a bit. I realized that I've been yabbing for more than 5 minutes and I've not introduced myself to any of the new viewers here. My name is Yasmi. This is my kitchen taste and bloom. You are welcome to subscribe and join this amazing blooming family. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back to watch me. As you can see, I added my goat meat stock as well. I'll cover this and allow it to do its own thing for about another 5 extra minutes before I go in with some hot water to finish cooking my jollof rice. You can use room temperature water, okay, but this particular day I was in a hurry, so I didn't want to waste much time. So once I cover this, I'll give this about 10 minutes still on low heat. Please do not rush the process. And then I'll get back to it and we'll move from there. Thank you so much for watching the video till this end. I'm going to assume you like what you're watching, so please give me a thumbs up on the video so that YouTube will know that you are enjoying the content, okay? So of course, to trap the steam, I'm using parchment paper. The jollof is doing amazing at this point, okay? So you remember the goat meat we set aside? If you've not chewed yours at this point, add it into your jollof. Give it a gentle mix, but a good one, of course, so that every bit of the goat meat will go into every bit of the jollof rice. Oh, and before you ask, you can cut up your goat meat into any pieces you want, okay? It's your preference. So I'm just going in with some carrots and green bell peppers. Very optional, of course, but just for the color, okay, and presentation purposes. So once this is done, you're good to go. Your jollof is ready. Delicious goat meat jollof. Let's move on to the second recipe, which is for the seafood lovers. Yes, seafood jollof rice. We're going to be using shrimps and octopus. With seafood, you don't have to do too much, okay? I just added some shrimp seasoning and a blend of ginger, garlic, onion, and some pepper. Gave it a toss, let it sit for about 5 minutes, and then went ahead to cook. My octopus has been blanched, more like pre-cooked before this process, okay? It just reduces the splatter. If you don't know how to do that, there's a video on my channel somewhere. I'll leave the link in the description box as well, okay? So like I said, we are going to go ahead and fry our shrimps and octopus. Again, you don't need too much time to fry this, just about 5 minutes on high heat, and you're good to go because you don't want to also overcook the shrimps, especially. You will not enjoy the taste basically. And if you overcook the octopus too, it will be too hard, if that makes sense. I don't even know how to describe it properly, but it will be rubbery and you don't like it. So once that is done, I'm going to take it out of the oil, and in the same saucepan, I'm going to add my jollof stew base, and then we are going to start cooking our jollof. I'm going to shorten this process because I've already showed how the jollof is made earlier with the goat meat jollof rice. Okay, so basically at this point, just add your washed rice. The same process as discussed earlier. Cook your jollof to perfection, then you go in with your shrimps and octopus. But because seafood is delicate, once you put these in, give it say about 3 minutes and then take your jollof rice off the fire and it's ready to be served. Now let's move on to my most favorite of these favorite recipes, which is the coconut milk beef jollof rice. Let's get started. So of course we are going to be using some beef or cow meat, seasoning with some natural spices, some salt, ginger, garlic, onions as usual, and then add enough water so we have some stock for the jollof. Always bear that in mind, okay? And then cook this till it's tender, and then I'll go ahead and fry this till, of course, it's golden brown. You can oven bake this, you can deep fry, you can air fry, you can in fact leave it as it is, okay? If you've watched the video till this end, let me know which recipe is shouting your name, okay? And whatever country you are coming from, whether Ghana, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, South Africa, Ivory Coast, please, let's just cool down today and celebrate the uniqueness in each and every jollof rice recipe from whichever country, okay? Back to the recipe. So I've seasoned my jollof stew base accordingly, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and add my washed rice. Like I previously mentioned, I'm not going to bore you with another process of jollof making. Just take some tips along, toast the rice, make sure you are cooking on low heat. Do not add too much water just so your jollof is not mushy. If you have stock, use it. And in this recipe, I'm adding some fresh coconut milk. It's homemade and the recipe is on my channel. I am bombarding you with links in the description box, so please check those links out as well when you are done watching this video. So once the coconut milk goes inside, I'm going to cover and allow this to cook. I know people have their reservations when it comes to cooking rice with coconut milk, but see if you've not tried it. If you haven't tried it, please go and try it, okay? You come back and testify, I promise. And the smell is also amazing. Or is it the aroma? Okay, it's also amazing. So please try it and thank me later. So yes, I've skipped to the good part and I've gone in with my fried beef or cow meat, okay? Give this a good mix, but of course be gentle. And then cover and give this about 5 minutes so that all the flavors will marry. And I'm sure you're going to enjoy this recipe. Personally, this is my favorite. I hope you have enjoyed all 3 jollof rice recipes and you're going to try any of them. And of course, these are my favorite ones. But if you have another favorite jollof rice recipe, let me know in the comment section, okay? I would love to know and probably try it in another video. But do vote on these 3 recipes and let me know in the comment section which one is the winner. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Leave your comments down below on your way out. Give me a thumbs up, share when you are done watching. And please, enough of the jollof wars, okay? Let's make love in cooking these jollof rice recipes on this very special World Jollof Day. And until we meet again, as always, keep blooming.